I just got done filming my closing statement from yesterday's vlog because I didn't get a chance to finish it. So yeah, I'm still sitting in the same chair. I'm at work. It is about 9 o'clock in the morning. I just got here, and before I clock in, I thought I would just do a little intro because this morning was, on mornings when I go to work, it's just kind of a flurry of get everything ready, get breakfast going, eat something, drink my coffee, get dressed, feed Hudson, you know. And this morning his last like hour of sleep was from about 5:30 to 6:30, so I wasn't up. I mean, 6:30 is kind of early, but I wasn't up super early. And then my mother-in-law comes at 8 o'clock and I leave about 8:30. So yeah, so it was just a busy morning of getting things ready. I did film a little bit though. I'm gonna switch hands here. I'm sort of just like lounging. I did film a little bit though this morning. I opened my advent calendar. You guys will have seen that. It was the Highbury colorway. I'm saying it like an American. Highbury colorway, which is the town that the nearby town in Emma, where they go and do all their, I don't know, shopping and socializing and whatever else they would do. But yeah, so yeah, definitely a theme for sure. The first 4 have been Emma, so I'm wondering if the whole calendar, I don't think the whole calendar is Emma, but I do know that the new movie, like that's the newest movie to have come out, was the new Emma. I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. It looks kind of quirky and a little whimsical, you know, kind of not as like, I don't know, staunch as some of the other adaptations have been. Yeah, it looks like fun, you know. They took a really fun turn to it, which is, they should, because Emma is really comical. There's a lot in there that's really comical. And Jane Austen was quite sarcastic and very witty. A lot of people think, you know, her writing was super dry, but like for the day, and if you read into it, it's very witty. And most of what she's writing about is a, like, she's like making a statement about the politics of the day, or women's rights, or something like that. Like, reading it on the surface, you get a plot and characters and stuff like that, but then if you really dig into it, there's a lot underneath. And I really love that about Jane Austen. I first read Jane Austen when I was in high school. I read Pride and Prejudice, and maybe that was the only Austen I read in high school, but then got a lot more into it in college. Of course, I studied a few of her works and then just read a few on my own. And I read Northanger Abbey when I was younger too, and I just read that one on the surface too and completely missed the point of that book, that it's a complete it's a satire. The whole entire book is a satire. I just like read it as just straight, and yeah, anyway, yeah, which I think, I mean, it's not a bad thing, of course, and that's not a, I don't know, but it's a lot more fun and funny when you realize that it's a satire. Anyway, yeah, so I'm at work. I'm going to get started doing some stuff. I gotta figure out exactly what I need to do, being here only 2 days a week, and I haven't been here since Monday, so I'm not really sure where we are in our shipping schedule and stuff like that. I do some shipping here, I do some processing, and then I have a computer as well, so I'll do some computer work if need be, but I try and get the other like physical stuff done if there is a need for that first, because I can do computer work from home. So anyway, I will check back in a little bit. I should say I'm wearing my Magic Cake Cowl by Sam B of Bumblebee Acres, and this is out of their I'll Await Your Owl colorway, which is a Harry Potter reference, Harry Potter theme. So yeah, and fluorescent lights make me look super pale. I mean, I am pale, but make me look even more like washed out, and yeah, oh well, who cares? You guys don't care. I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna get to work. It is about 3:45. I'm still at work. This is the office that I'm currently working out of. It's my boss's office at our store location of Knit Circus. We don't have the retail store open right now. I think I described this a little bit the other day, but we've kind of sectioned off spaces. We technically we don't own them. We rent 3 spaces in kind of like a office mall type thing. It's kind of off the beaten track. Anybody who's been here kind of knows that it's not really like in a, I don't know, big retail area. It's hard to find sometimes for people, and that's because we started out just being a dye studio, and the dye studio did have a small like room where people could come and buy yarn with limited hours. And then when I started here, the timing was just really right that they were ready to expand, and I had retail experience. I was just coming from a job where I worked 6.5 years at a yarn store, and they put, not in charge, but I was the one that managed it and ordered for it and stuff like that. So I worked primarily in the store the last few years, also doing processing and dyeing a little bit on the side, but anyway, so we have a large store, and then we also just picked up a smaller little space where more processing is done. So we have a lot of different spaces that people can work in, and most of us are sort of sectioned off and quarantined in a way from each other. So I have one space in the store and a coworker of mine has another, and my boss's office is in that space, so that's where I'm now able to work on the computer and yeah, just sort of have an area to work down here. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with all that. I think I was just gonna say that I'm still at work. I have shipped out some orders that came in today and done a little bit of caking. I would have showed you some of the gradient cakes that we sell. We wind all of those, not by hand, but we have electric winders, but we have to wind all of those before they get labeled and sold. So I was doing a little bit of that, labeling some skeins. There wasn't a whole lot that came through production today, so that didn't take too long, and now I've just been working on some computer work. So I think I'm gonna ship out a couple more orders that have come through, and then I don't know, I might go home a little bit earlier today. We'll see if anything comes up. I could probably find a couple more things to do, but it is Friday, so we'll see. Another benefit of being back at work is that I have access to a winder and a Swift. The winder's in front of me, which you can't see. Yay! So I did hand wind the first Advent Mini that I got for day one, but now that I'm at work, I'm going to wind up the other minis. Our winder's kind of big for these minis. I prefer, like, I don't know, winding them on a smaller one. This winder is quite chunky, but it's better than nothing, and it's going to save me some time, which you would have guessed I definitely need. I'm really hoping to get a little bit of knitting done, and there's a small part of me that wants to clock out and just stay here for like 15 minutes and actually like knit a few rows on my project. I'm trying to decide whether or not that's like selfish. Should I go home and relieve my mother-in-law of babysitting duty? Probably, but I might knit for a little bit. Home now. I just heated up some leftovers for dinner, and Seaver's doing a quick workout. So yeah, oh, I just wanted to say I started listening to, oh, and Hudson's hanging out in his swing. I started listening to a book today, and you can fairly say fairly? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm obsessed. It's called The Dutch House by Anne Patchett, and a lot of you probably know about it. It was a Pulitzer Prize winner, I believe, and it is fantastic. Don't have much time to read these days, and even before I had a baby, I unfortunately started prioritizing knitting over reading, which I used to read a ton, being I was a literature major, that's what my degree is in. I would literally spend, I would say, like 6 hours a day reading. And that's sometimes not even an exaggeration. Obviously not every day, but still. And then it got to the point where I was finishing only like 2 or 3 books a year because all my free time I was spending knitting. And while I can read and knit if the project is easy, I would, like, my default is just, you know, listen or watch something. So I listen to books more often because I can do it at work, I can do it in the car, I can do it while I knit, I can do it while I with Hudson, it's just a lot easier. Sorry, I'm shaking. I'm talking and I talk with my hands, and yeah, unfortunately, that means I talk with my phone too. But yeah, the Dutch House is amazing. It's read by Tom Hanks. Oh my gosh, Tom Hanks, what? His voice is like magic. And he does such a good job. He's such a good voice actor, which we all knew. I mean, he's done animation, but still, so good. I've listened to more than 60% of that book now, I think, or almost 60%. So I listened to it literally throughout my entire 8-hour shift today. So good. So if you are into audiobooks or regular books, I'm sure it's wonderful if you're just reading it as well. Give the Dutch House a listen. You will not regret it.